Hello. Hello. ఏం బ్యాన్ చేశారంటే పేటిఎం నా ஆமா என்னம்மா இல்லையே இருந்தது பேடிஎம் మూడు ఎన్నో దినాలు దాటితే ఉందమ్మా
we have what is important to know before any okay. So here okay, let's go to one after so okay, kind of easy, right? Okay, definitely go for the market person has to say that what is the latest we can take it for the we can get okay innovative ideas with the technology what we can get it so that we will be in a track we will be in a area wherein if I develop an application it will be used for the society okay so that's the thing the first point
తీవ్రంత పోసుకున్నా ఇప్పుడే కోపం అలా తీసుకున్నాయి
Good afternoon, Miss. Yes. I have a great idea what is that we are going to explore about how we are going to do it. How we are going to approach it. Because this slide is going on. Okay. So the next so we have to plan. So you all well know about what is the market research. So you will come to know which applications so in which category are applications whether it will be a it will be application which is utilized education institute or can be the or Instagram, social media, everything, right? So that category is different things started. So what I interesting you decide what application or what idea you get in your mind. First write it. Okay. Then we will is there any civil application there? What three the ones are going to innovate it. The first time we have to five. Okay. So then we will decide it. Then you develop a business model. Business model means business plan. Okay. So what is the plan? How we are going to do it? So what are the requirements? How did you identify this particular idea? So everything has to put it in the business model. And next comes find out. So you will be manually defining an application wherein you will design it. Okay, you for example, if you are decided to develop it. Are you hearing? Yes, not next. Can you repeat what it is? Oh, Artika, I was saying about market research. So before we start deciding what kind of we are going to develop, so you have to know what is the idea and yes, yes. Yeah, I will do it. Is it saying that? Yes, miss. Is it? Yes, it's visible, miss. So we are in the market research. So market research means we need to identify in which particular area. Once you identify. Okay. So if you are putting your application idea in how would you application? How
ಬಾಲಾಜಿ ಇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಾರ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ அரவிந்த் டி சில்வா இது கேட்கலையா? அதுதான் வா முடிச்சிடலாம். நீ கேட்க மாட்டியா?
என்ன பண்ணீங்க?
No, that's why I'm just trying to see.
Yeah. You should be able to. You can log now because it's 15 minutes prior. We can log in.
So I'm already there. That's why I'm asking.
All right. Okay. Now I will be logging Aravinda, and then I'll quickly tell you how the proceedings are going to be for today.
Who's Shankar? Shankar. There is Shankar. Who's Shankar?
These are all from my friends from India, JCI friends from India, who are your friends.
Yeah, no, there's someone called Shankar online.
Those are from India, Aravinda.
And not the person who's coordinating the meeting or anything.
The coordinator, no, he's also a participant. He's joining.
Rajesh.
Yeah, Rajesh is also one of our presidents in India.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll quickly run through the agenda for Aravinda. Okay, thank you so
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Shankar from Bangalore, sir. I am big fan of you.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. I started at 3:30 because if I late, I missed your program. So that I before half an hour itself I logged in, sir. Sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem. So you
Hello, hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi, my name is JC Rajesh. I'm the president for JC Hosur Lake City. So
Yeah.
I and Tariq are together organizing this event, and we're glad to have you today. And thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
Sir, you are the inspiration for the many young people, sir. That time we loved very much the way you are playing with bat and ball. We loved very much, sir. Because of you only, you win the World Cup that time. That is very proud moment to us also.
Yeah. So you are huh? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the host from JC Colombo to join. We'll just give a couple of minutes for them.
It says JCI Colombo.
Yeah.
But I can't see your face. I can't see a face in JCI Colombo.
Hi, Tariq.
Hi Rajesh, Aravinda is also there.
Yeah.
Uh, Aravinda, I'll just make my video. Yes, Aravinda, I'm Tariq here. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
hi.
And this is Rajesh, who is the president of JCI Hosur Lake City.
Yeah, he introduced himself to me.
Okay, great. We'll start by 4 o'clock, Aravinda, sharp. Just 4 minutes to go.
Doesn't have.
We'll start in another 1 minute. Okay. Rajesh, let's start
Yeah.
with the proceedings for today without much delay.
Yeah. So I think like more people will start from 4 onwards. I think we're getting participants joining in
Okay.
now.
Right.
Tariq, can I play the JC introduction? Meanwhile, we just give 1 or 2 minutes more for people to join.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll quickly play the introduction. So we have general public as well today, and for their benefit, I'll play the video.
JCI was founded in St. Louis, USA in 1915 by Henry Giesenbier Jr. Henry had noticed that his city was in need of new roads and parks, and so he formed the organization Young Men's Progressive Civic Association in order to raise funds for the project. It became a great success, and in the following years, the organization continued to help young people to make a difference in their local community. The local Chamber of Commerce in St. Louis was so impressed with the organization's activities that they asked the young men to call themselves Junior Chamber of Commerce. The name Junior Chamber was born. Junior Chamber expanded quickly. In 1920, the organization was represented in 41 cities throughout the United States, and in 1944, it was so widespread that the next logical step was to establish an international organization known as Junior Chamber International. In 1957, a group of younger Danish businessmen, including Poul Schlüter, who later became Danish Prime Minister, founded the first local JCI organization in Denmark. Shortly after, another local organization was founded in Horsens, and in 1959, these two local organizations founded the national organization JCI Denmark. Our members are active young people in their 20s and 30s who are passionate about facing new challenges and developing themselves and others. We believe in the value of diversity and therefore represent many different industries and both sexes. Former JCI members include names such as Poul Schlüter and Anders Fogh Rasmussen, as well as Bill Clinton and John F. Kennedy. What we have in common, and what we also expect from you, is the drive and desire to develop personally and to engage yourself in our activities. In return, you get the opportunity to strengthen your professional and personal skills by networking across age, education, politics, religion, and even national borders. As a JCI member, your development opportunities are endless, and there is always room for your big dreams.
Okay. Okay. I would like to call to order the meeting. First, am I audible, everybody?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm JC Tariq Nazir, President of JCI Colombo, chapter for the year 2020. I would like to thank everyone who have joined this program, which we have one of the best batsmen in the world, legendary batsman Aravinda, who will actually be there to answer questions for you all and provide answers to your questions. So I would like to call to order the meeting meeting at 4:05 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you. Next in the agenda is welcome address. I would like to invite our JCI Hosur Lake City Chapter President JC Rajesh Subramanian to take on the proceedings.
Thank you, Tariq. A warm good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of JCI Hosur Lake City and JCI Colombo, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's chit chat with Sri Lankan cricketing legend. For all the guests, Junior Chamber International is a non-profit organization of young active citizens between the age group of 18 to 40 who are engaged and committed to create impact in their communities. Active citizens are individuals invested in the future of our world, and JCA gathers active citizens from all sectors of the society. JCA Colombo and JCA Hosur Lake City strongly believes that brotherhood of men transcends sovereignty of nations, and we have been regularly organizing activities that creates positive change in our countries since the inception of our twinning agreement in 2019. While we were planning our activities together, we realized one common factor that connects our country, India and Sri Lanka, is cricket. And we decided to pursue some cricketing icons of both the countries and organize a small chit chat with them. And we are so fortunate that we are able to get connected with our speaker of the day today, creating opportunity to all our members today across the borders to interact with him. I'm very happy to share that we have participants from several countries here today, and they're more likely joining as well. And with utmost pride, I would like to welcome the speaker of the day, the international cricketing legend, Deshabandhu Pinaduvage Aravinda De Silva, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I request all the members to make the best use of this opportunity to interact and get inspired. Once again, I invite you all for the speaker meet today.
Thank you, Rajesh. Next item in the agenda is the recitation of creed. I would request everybody to raise up if possible and repeat after me for the JCI creed. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life. Thank you. Next item in the agenda is recognition. I would like to recognize the presence of past LUM president of JCI Colombo, JC Maqsood Altaf. I would like to recognize the presence of national president of JCI Sri Lanka, Mr. Dilhan Jaitilaka, and also I would like to recognize the presence of our vice president for JCI Colombo, Praveen Dharmaraja, and all who are joining from Sri Lanka. I would like to thank everybody for joining, like recognize them as well. Right. Over to you, Rajesh.
Yeah. On behalf of JC Hosur Lake City, I would like to recognize the presence of the zone officers, current zone officer, JC Om Saranam, who's the zone vice president. And we have some of our past presidents of JC Hosur Lake City, JC Anbu and JC Chandrasekhar Beer. And we have some of our counterpart LOM presidents in JCI Zone 16. I would like to recognize the presence of Jawahar Parthiban and other fellow presidents of my zone, and all the past presidents and other JC members from JCA India and other general cricketing audience who have joined today. We welcome you all and we recognize your presence today.
Thank you, Rajesh. Next item in the agenda is the introduction of the speaker for today. The speaker for today is a world-class and widely known cricketer, I would say around the world, for his powerful batting and Also, he is a leading figure, was instrumental in Sri Lanka winning the World Cup in the year 1996, and he was the vice captain of the Sri Lanka cricket team, which won the 1996 50-over cricket World Cup. And also he has played not only represented Sri Lanka, he also have been part of county cricket as well. He had played for several county teams, and he was a past chairman of Sri Lanka National Selection Committee, and he is a high net worth equity investor and the present chairman of Ideal Group of Companies. I would like to warmly welcome our cricketing legend and our icon, Sri Lankan icon, Aravinda De Silva. The floor is open for question and answers. Thank you.
Nasir, before that, I would like to quickly play a video.
Yes.
And
Arjuna Ranatunga a few years ago was in some strife with the Sri Lankan Cricket Board authorities, but he's come back very well after that. And the celebrations already beginning. All the other Sri Lankan players out onto the boundary area.
That's it, all the way to the boundary for 4. What a victory for the Sri Lankans. A fantastic effort by them. Their players are charging out onto the ground. The Aussies shaking them by the hand. Little Murali Dhillon's arrived. What a year it's been for him. Distraught at one end of his season, and here he is now in the winning team. They've taken out the World Cup.
And what a moment. Sri Lanka, world cricket champions. It is a moment that they have been waiting for years, ever since they got test status. This is the moment that they have been waiting for. They have tremendous plans. They want to make Sri Lanka a test champion as well by the year 2000. And by winning the World Cup in a limited overs competition, they have taken the steps in the right direction.
So there we are, the Australian.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for that pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting that video, but then thank you for that.
Network security is important for any organization. You know, you should take this
Actually,
online ethical hacking course on
some of
Udemy.
the things
It's
in the
taught by an
past.
expert instructor. You'll learn pen testing, identify vulnerabilities, set up lab environments. Basically, everything used to protect and secure a network, and also the price of takeout.
Yes.
The course is yours to keep and take at any time. And if it's not working out, you can always get your money back in 30 days. I can't wait to see what you do.
Okay. Now the floor is open for question and answers. I would like to take the opportunity to ask the first few questions from Aravinda today. I just want to ask Aravinda from you. Can you let us know a little bit how you got onto being a cricketer? Those days I think cricket was popular. It's true, but then they used to go for other professional education. Why did you choose to become a cricketer? Can you let us know how it was? Can you share some of your experience?
Well, I think first of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm really happy to be part of this event today. I think to your question, my decision to play cricket instead of education, it's actually not instead of education, but along with education, was one reason, and that is obviously sport is something which is embedded in a lot of the youngsters, and they do that with a lot of passion and enjoyment. So I guess as a child, what I really enjoyed doing was play sport. So not only cricket, I played a lot of other sport like tennis, snooker, soccer, rugby, uh, uh, snooker, every other sport, motor racing. I did all that at a very young age, and the one I was blessed to continue with to the top level was cricket. So fortunately, it was a sport which had the exposure and the opportunity at the highest level, unlike all the other sport which I played at the time. But looking at all that, I'm glad that I continued playing cricket, and it gave me a lot in life, which I think I cherish, and I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Thank you, Aravinda. My next question for you is, how was your support at the school level? I understand that you are a product of first you were at Isipatana College and then you moved to DSA Nanaika. How was the support at that time in the school? How was school cricket and how was the support that you got for you to get on to the ladder in the cricketing career? How was the support?
Well, I think I was only at Isipatana College for a couple of weeks, and then I moved to DSN Naika. So basically, I've been at DSN Naika right through my career. Today, looking back, I think it was a very young school which started in 1967, and when I joined the school was only 5 years old. In 71, I joined. So really looking back, though I had some other opportunities to join some other schools, halfway through my very young days of cricketing career, I found out that joining DS Srilankan at that age was the game changer for me, because the then principal, Mr. Alas, was a visionary, and I must say that a leader who basically had that sort of vision really helped me achieve a lot of the things I really wanted to achieve in life. So I guess this shows to the entire world you can have a lot of talent, but at the end of the day, if you don't have proper guidance and leadership at the top, it is very unfortunate, but the truth is that you will not be able to achieve the heights you really look forward to achieving as a child. And I think that support which I got right through my school days was a stepping stone for my future career, which lasted over almost 20 years at the international level. And what I learned there was what I implemented: the discipline, respect, respecting teachers, elders. Those are values which I learned at that age. And I think those paid off in the long run. So I'm ever so grateful to my school, DSN Naika College.
Thank you, Varun. I have one more question. Can you tell me who was your first coach? Because I still remember my cricketing coach. He was actually instrumental in helping me out to play club cricket at the Bloomfield. So who was your cricket first coach, and who do you? Is he the one who actually helped you up in the ladder in your cricketing career? Can Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, that again, actually, as I mentioned, the visionary Mr. Alice, who advised the coaches at the time. I remember when he recruited the two coaches, the thing he had mentioned to them, because later on I found out from them, was that he had told them, look, I am recruiting you just for one thing, and that is not to win tournaments, but to produce cricketers to represent our country one day. And he said at such a young age, a school which probably was not even 10 years in existence, was told, look, you produce cricketers to represent the country, but not focus and don't focus on just winning tournaments. I think that was a great advice to the coaches, and the two coaches who were recruited at the time was Mr. W.A.N. Silva and Mr. Charlie Varnakula Surya, two coaches who at the time was coaching the national team. So you can just imagine, as a child who was 11 or 9 years old, playing under 11, was able to learn and practice what was taught at the national level, which meant that at a very, very young age, my knowledge was enhanced to the level of the requirement which was needed to be the best in the country. So I guess that really helps. Even today, it really helps, because that human resource and the knowledge is very, very important to be imparted into the youth, so that they're able to mature very much quicker, because once they learn things at a very young age, they have time to practice it, fail and learn. So that process you have to go through, and that really helps you to make sure that once you want to reach and achieve something, there are so many failures you've got to go through, and that process you go through at a very young age, and become mature when you're still able. Otherwise, what happens is you start to learn things when you're old. By the time you learn, you don't have the energy to run anymore. So I guess it's very important to be able to learn and acquire things, knowledge at a very, very young age. And that I am really grateful once again to the two coaches, and then subsequently it was Mr. P.W. Pereira, who was my coach at under 17 and above. So he identified me as an exceptional cricketer. So he requested from the principal to let him allow me to be included into the under 17 side at the age of 13. So that way I was able to again get the exposure at a higher level at a very young age. So those are one of the reasons I think, or some of the reasons I think helped me to grow my knowledge and also my experience and become and have a longer career at the international level.
Thank you so very much, Aravind. That was a lot of words of wisdom from you. Now I invite our coach Rajesh Subramanian, who is president of JCI Hosur Lake City, for his round of questions before
Thank you,
we
Tariq.
put it on to the audience.
Yeah. Aravinda, you shared that you were an active sportsman. You not just cricket, you were having interest on other sports as well. What made you to choose the cricketing career? Was it because of your natural cricketing skills? My second question is, if not cricket, which sport would have chosen as your career?
Well, as I said initially, it was a passion which drove me to play cricket and continue that. So sports was my passion. So I would have always continued playing sport. And luckily, my father also encouraged me to do so when I had to make certain hard decisions. The advice he gave me was, you just go out there and do what you really enjoy doing. And I think it's the most important thing in life. Whatever you do, to make sure that you enjoy uh, whatever you decide to take on, and to try and reach and commit to it fully. So I guess if not for cricket, I would have loved to have continued my tennis. And even today, I feel that I should have continued my cricket instead of, well, rather tennis instead of cricket.
Thank you so much. And I have another question. Who was your, because we always take inspiration to find our passion, and who was your inspiration in your young age, like in cricketing world?
Well, it was obviously Viv Richards was my idol, and he was actually someone who really inspired me at a very young age. His approach, attitude, and the self-confidence is what I admire the most. So I guess that he is the person who, I guess, inspired me along with my father.
Okay. Yeah. My next question is, in today's world, uh, there is a huge a competition for you to get onto a kind of a district level or into the national level. So there are a lot of challenges a person needs to undergo in order to prove his talent to get onto the national selection. What were the challenges in your times to get onto the national uh, team?
Well, it was no
Were the
different.
challenges same?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was no different to anything like today. It was the same. I started playing Division 3 cricket, and then came up the ladder to play Division 1 for the club. But nowadays, people expect miracles. They play school cricket and leave school, and they expect to be in the Sri Lankan type team or the national team, which is not a very good thing. I feel that people need to play at a lower level, start proving yourself, and then keep working your way up rather than being pushed, favored, and get into positions. And I think that is something which our leaders should not allow. To make sure that the youth get the deserved opportunity. So sometimes people use influence to get into positions, and those are things which I will never approve of. Because at the end of the day, you need to understand that you can use influence only to a certain extent in your life. and beyond that point, you're always on your own. So it's better to learn it the hard way and achieve your dream, which will have much more value than trying to achieve it through help and influencers. So I guess for the youngsters, the advice I can give is just work your way up. There'll be disappointments in life. We've all had disappointments, failures, and that's part of life. And every time you fail, if you learn through those failures, that's the biggest lesson you can learn from anywhere, because at the end of the day, you experience the failure and you know what the reasons are. So therefore, it is better for you to go through that process even at a very young age and work towards success through all these barriers, which ultimately helps you in your career building as well, because this lifestyle uh, is such that or life is such that anyone will have to go through those stages at some point or the other.
Thank you. I was bringing this next question. I was saving this question for the later, but as you were talking about the importance of having patience for the youngsters to get onto the team, you had been part of the national selection committee of Sri Lankan Cricket Board, and you must have faced such challenges of making decisions to choose the influence over the talent at times. How did you manage such challenges as a national selection committee member?
Well, I think any job is not an easy job, and especially a selector's job is not easy because you've got 100 players and then you have to select only 15 out of that. So as long as you do things sincerely and with a clear conscience, I think that is what matters. And if you think this is the right thing to do, you go ahead and do it. You might be wrong, you might fail, just like another opportunity you get. But you try to be as fair as possible and be honest in whatever you do. I think that will really allow you to achieve and be strong to take any sort of decision. I think that way I rather do that and fail than take in the other route.
Thank you so much. Honesty and integrity is the most important for anyone, for any profession.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing that. And uh, uh, we strongly believe that consistency makes a normal person to become a champion. And we would like to know what is your secret to become from a normal cricketer to becoming a legendary cricketer.
Well,
The success behind your consistency.
yeah, like I said earlier, for anyone to be successful, you got to do whatever you do with a lot of passion, and that was passion and enjoyment is the key. So as long as you do it with those two, you're bound to achieve success. But along the way, adding to that, there are a lot of other ingredients which you require, like hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and of course, dedication, and more than anything else, honesty. So that honesty is to yourself, and if you go into a match and you know that you have given 100% and fail, then that is what really matters. So you have to ask yourself every day after whatever you do, have I given my 100% today? And if you have to reply to yourself and say, no, I have given only 99%, and if you have failed, then I don't think you've done justice to your talent or your ability. Sometimes you might do 80% and be in the winning side, or you would have had success. Even then, if you come back in the evening and ask yourself, yes, I did very well, I got 100, but I could have gone on and made a double 100 if I was not stupid and if I really put my thinking cap on at that particular time. So if there is always room for improvement, and what you should do is ask the question every single day before you go to sleep to make sure that you have given 100% on a daily basis. So that is what really matters.
Thank you so much. I think those words are much needed for all our participants to hear from you. Thank you so much for those words. And I have a few questions from some of the participants who could not make it for today's meeting. One of the question is, what was the game plan before the semi against India in the World Cup 1996? This question has come from one of the Indian cricketer fan, Aravinda.
Well, what do you mean? What was the plan? Plan was obviously we had decided to chase before the game. Fortunately, we lost the toss, and because we were very good at chasing right through that tournament, and I think the plan was such that we play to our strengths, and our strength was always going out there, playing our natural game, and taking the opposition on. So when we were asked to bat, it was always a case of putting runs on the board, important match, and then do our basics right. So I guess we had no different plan. We had a plan which we used to deploy during the entire tournament, and that was to play attacking and aggressive cricket, and be positive. I guess the amount of confidence the team had was the key, so we were able to capitalize on that with the team's confidence booming. We managed to, even batting first, set up a decent total after being 2 down for almost 0. We managed to pile up almost 250 runs, I think 240 something or whatever. And then on that turning wicket, we had the bowlers to really put the brakes on India. So I guess that really worked well for us, losing the toss, and there was a little bit of luck involved. So I felt that that was the planning was done for the entire tournament, and we just kept to the plan and executed the plan pretty well, I thought.
Yep, thank you. And the next question is, we know that you were the man of the match of the World Cup finals. Did you ever got a thought that you missed the winning shot?
Well, it didn't really matter because my focus was only to win the game, and never crossed my mind at all about scoring the winning run. But I was over the moon when Arjuna cleared that to third man, and when we ultimately became the world champs. And that's a dream which any cricketer has, and I was happy to be part of that. Especially in '96, to be able to achieve it during my career. And I'm sure it would have been the same with the rest of the team.
Okay. Yeah. So I have more questions from the participants, offline participants, but I think like we have 20 minutes more. Uh, we would like to take some questions from the audience today. Anyone would like to ask any question to our cricketing legend Aravinda? Feel
Hello.
free to raise your hands. We would
Arvind
like.
sir, how are you? This is Manohar, the Chittur Lam president. First, hello to Nazir and Rajesh. Congratulations for conducting such a wonderful webinar with the legend of cricket. I am very close to Srikanth sir. We invited Srikanth to Chittur for 3 tournaments. And once I got the opportunity to travel to Colombo with Muttaya Muralidharan. And once I spent almost 1 hour with Tendulkar at Puttaparthi. So it's very nice to talking to you. And you are a big asset of Sri Lanka. So I think the Sri Lanka will flourish in cricket with all your blessings and guidance. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manohar. Do you have any questions?
I hope I'll be able to travel with you as well one day.
Thank you, sir. I'm a Lions.
To be part of those grades.
Thank you. I'm a Lions district governor also. We used to come to Colombo very often. So we'll come once and meet you through Nazir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manohar. Next, participants, I request you to ask your questions straight. Next is Mr. Shankar. Mr. Shankar, would you like to ask your question? Mr. Shankar, we have unmuted you. Okay, so meanwhile, people, as there are some hiccups in enabling your audio, please feel free to post your questions on the chat. We would like to take these questions to Aravinda in case you're not able to talk to him. One of the questions which I've got is, tell us about one thing on the cricket field which we don't know, because we get to see cricket mostly from the TV, the international crickets. So tell us about one thing that we don't know about on the cricket field, Aravinda. Just a minute.
One thing you don't see and don't probably notice is how much all these cricketers go through pressure-wise and also preparation-wise. On the field, you see only the happy and the better part, but there is a lot more which goes on in the background, like working very hard preparation for certain tournaments and matches, and then of course the mental toughness you require on the field is something which is a very critical part for any sportsman, because I think everything revolves around your mental strength. And when I say mental strength, you should be able to basically basically go through a lot when during bad times, failure and criticism, one of the biggest areas you've got to be able to handle. So I guess these are important, very important parts of the game, which most of the spectators and the viewers don't see and understand. So I guess the mentally strong individuals are the ones you would see as some of these greatest cricketers who's been around. They really have been able to control their minds and put it to practice with a lot of discipline. I think that's been the key.
Thank you so much. Talking about the toughest situation, we have one question. One toughest situation in your life, and how did you overcome?
One toughest one.
Situation in your life, and how did you overcome?
Well,
there could be many, but one
yeah.
thing that comes to your mind.
Well, it's been so many that not one. Every day you face difficulties. We are running the latest is that we are running an organization and we represent the Mahindra Group in India. And today we are faced with one of the toughest decisions, which is and the toughest decision which the government had to make was to stop and ban imports of motor vehicles. And for the last 2 months, it's been in effect. And what really has happened is we have to start thinking out of the box now. If they don't allow imports for the next couple of years, how we are going to run this operation. So we have to be very flexible and work out ways and means as to how to adjust. And agility and flexibility is what really comes to play. And even on a cricket field, situations keeps changing, and we need to adapt to the situations, and those are things which we learn very well on a cricket field. So those life skills you learn, you put it into practice, and even when you're running businesses today, you have to face such situations, and you don't get demoralized or disheartened. You've got to find your way through it. So I guess there are plenty examples like that. So today it's a huge decision because we have about 1,000 odd people, 1,300 people working for us. So we need to keep, that's our main line of business. So once that main line gets dried up, it becomes very hard to survive. But you always think you have to always survive, and you've got to do what it takes to do it. So that's the approach we have, and we go for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yeah, so we have one question from Mr. Amrit. Who is your favorite Indian cricketer and why?
Yes, as I said, it's Viv Richards, and for the same
Indian
reason,
cricketer.
Indian cricketer. Well, I've got a few. Actually, earlier, I used to really admire Sunil Gavaskar, and from the current lot, without a doubt, it's Virat Kohli.
Thank you. And we have a question from Yalini. What drives you to keep on hitting centuries?
Well, I wish I was able to do that, see, as I said, you go there trying to do your best, and if you think century is what I really want to do, make most times you will fall short. But if you just go there wanting to give you 100% and not worry about failure, uh, just focus on what you have to do, the processes step by step, I think what you can achieve is much greater because your focus uh, is spent only for a small period. You're not thinking about 100, you're just thinking the next ball. So that makes you focus and be more efficient in whatever you do. Whereas if you focus about scoring 100, your failure becomes far more easier, mainly because you're looking at a target which is way ahead rather than just looking at your next step. So you have to look at the immediate future, work at it, and work in stages to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Because at the end, you probably might have an ultimate goal, but there's always a process to achieve that. So you have to keep following that process.
Thank you. And we're running out of time. We'll take last few questions. We have one question from Mr. J.C. Mohan. Just a minute. How do you handle pressure both on and off the field?
Well, I try to get my mind off whatever. If it's cricket, I try to get away from cricket. If it's work, I try to get away from cricket. So the only way to try and take the pressure off is also go away and start doing other things, and then you get fresh ideas, refreshes your mind, thinking patterns and all that. So I think that really has helped me. So I will keep doing that for the rest of my life.
Thank you.
And thank you, Aravinda.
Yeah, so
we have one
yes,
more question from one of our Sri Lankan audience. He's asking, what will be the one thing you would like to say for youngsters? A tip of success, maybe.
Yeah, well, success will never come easy. You got to work at it and be focused. I think focus is very important. If you want to achieve something, you've got to give it 100%. And to give that 100%, you need to know exactly what you want in life and has to be focused. So once you are able to do that, then it becomes very much easier. And without a doubt, the process is full of hard work, sacrifices, failures, and commitment. So you have to remember that these ingredients are required to be a success at the end. So if you take all the top sportsmen, businessmen, everyone would have had their share of failures along the way. So be prepared for that and make sure you learn through them, because that is the only way you will have success, to make sure that you don't make that same mistake again.
We have few more questions. I am getting private messages from the audience. Can you, whoever has questions, can unmute yourself now and ask your questions. Mr. Shankar, you have any questions? You have unmuted yourself. Mr. Sajid, do you have any questions?
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I'll take a quick question. Yeah, go on, Sachin.
Yeah, okay. Actually, my question is that we all have a lot of dream jobs that we want to achieve. So, if we get an opportunity, for an example, to face an interview from a dream job, we would be so nervous. Sometimes we might not even be able to answer questions and things like that. So, you have been on to the one of the greatest highlight in Sri Lankan history, that is to go to the final of World Cup and actually to win it. So how was it? How was the feeling that you being able to, before the start of the match, how was the feeling that you being able to participate in the final of Cricket World Cup, the World Cup, and also how was the feeling being next to the winning run score? How was that feeling? Because we cannot imagine seeing a final ball of a match because we don't know what was going to happen next. So that's my question.
Yeah, so the worst thing you could have as a youngster is fear of failure. So you have to try and eradicate fear of failure from your system. As I told you before, you might go for your dream interview, and if you worry about yourself, that means that you're not confident of yourself. So self-belief is number one for anything. I think that's important for me to have mentioned. For whatever you want to achieve, I think the number one, when I said mentally strong, when I mentioned it sometime back earlier, what I meant was self-confidence. I think that is the key. So if you don't believe that you are going to be selected and walk into that room, then it's a disaster. So you have to walk in there thinking I'm going to be getting that job and sitting on that seat. And after you get the result, you probably might be disappointed because they could have selected someone else uh, instead of you. And at that point, you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to show those people a lesson and I'm going to do something better. So you work harder, you look at the next opportunity and try and drive it. And then you might have to even start at a lower uh, level than the one before. You accept that and show them what you can do. And once you do that and prove yourself, I think you are the winner, not anyone else. So that will be the stepping stone for you to achieve and reach greater heights.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aravinda. Rajesh, any final questions?
Okay, I'll take a final question. So we have IPL 13 in starting in India today. So do you follow IPL that happens in India? If so, who is your favorite team?
Well, I don't have a favorite team as such, but I sometimes watch the IPL, and if I have time, if I'm free, I'll probably watch any game of cricket or any sport for that matter, as long as it's a competitive game. When you watch, you learn a lot. So I like watching Chennai Super Kings playing Mumbai Indians or Rajasthan Royals, or no, what's the Bangalore team? Rajasthan
Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Challengers.
Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Royal Challengers playing either Mumbai Indians or Chennai Super Kings. Those are the games, and of course I like to watch Calcutta Knight Riders when my good friend is watching the game. Shah Rukh Khan is one of my favorite actors. So when he's around, I'll probably watch Calcutta Knight Riders. So there are various reasons for me to watch cricket, and but cricket-wise, I'm sure I enjoy watching a very competitive game of cricket.
Thank you so much.
And as we see these days, like we have women cricketing is also getting into the limelight. We could see that the Sporting Channel and ICC bringing more competitions on the ICC. We have a lot of women participants in today's meeting. Do you have anything to say to them in general, or as a cricketing lover for the women as well?
Well, I think looking at your event today, men have dominated the event, except for one phase I see. So I guess if you get more, give more opportunity to them, I think you would see better results, as I have experienced even in my own house. I think whenever I give responsibility to my wife, she does multitasking far better than myself. So I guess women have the capacity and capability which I feel that we don't utilize enough. And I feel that giving great opportunities to them will probably take Indian ladies cricket also to beyond what normal cricket has achieved. So I guess likewise anywhere else in the world. But I watched a little bit of women's cricket, and I think the interest levels, the momentum is gathering. So I guess once, like in tennis, this also will reach a stage where it'll be very popular.
Hi, sir.
Thank you so much. Tariq, I think we are running out of time. In the interest of,
Yes.
we should get into the closing formalities.
Yes.
Over to you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aravinda. We are just about to close the formalities for today. Now, as part of the agenda, now I would like to request some feedback from the participant. So can you, the participants, can you give us some feedbacks of what did you feel and what sort of learnings that you got out of this? Can you a few words about it? You can unmute yourself and give us your feedback.
Hello.
Yes, Sajid, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, I would like to say I would actually like to thank everyone for organizing this. And I'm new to this, and there is one important thing that I learned from Aravinda is that there are many things that we see from the television, but things that we don't see what goes inside their life and part of their journey to come into the national level. So yeah, we shared a lot of things that he have been through and the challenges that we easily ignore or don't get to see. So thank you very much for sharing that. That actually will help us on going forward when we re-evaluate in our lives to when we face challenges. Thank you for hosting such an event with such a legend. Thank you.
You're welcome.
JC
Any other
Vijayaraghavan.
participant?
Good evening, Aravinda sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, sir. It's my pleasure to be a part in this event. I am from Madurai. I would like to thank you for that. You give us such a wonderful explanation to all the questions what we are asking. As a cricketer, as a general person, you are giving us such a wonderful explanation. And then there is a things you are said in that meeting wherever they are asking a question: self-integrity, as a honesty, and then punctuality. What are the things you have said is very honestly from your inner side, and then I would like to thank for that, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vijayaraghavan. We still have time for one or two feedbacks.
So, being on present here, it's myself, Auditor Mohan Harish from JCA Madurai Central and JCA India representing it. And I am a very good fan of a great legend. And I am also one of I would like to thank all the participants. And the question and answer what Aravind sir was explanation was very good, amazing. And as a youngsters, a small request to Aravind said, what is the strategies regarding the youngsters during this COVID-19 as an entrepreneur, as well as for all the business entrepreneurs and the youngsters? Can you please say so, please?
Sorry, what was that question again?
Yeah, as during this COVID-19 situation, as entrepreneur and for a startup entrepreneurs, what is your advice and the strategies to be followed?
Well, I think COVID-19 has shown the whole world how things will not go according to plan. So you have to understand that in life, this is the norm. So you cannot prepare for an adverse situation like this. It's all unexpected. So what I suggest is for you also to see and look back. There are things which we should have done long time ago, and we probably wouldn't have done those taking things for granted. But today, after COVID, you realize here is the time we need to do the things which we should have done so many years back. So, for example, it's something a lot of people were trying to advocate working from home, which means that you have technology. Technology has played a huge part, and that has leapfrogged from where it was to now because of COVID. Today we wouldn't have had this meeting, wouldn't have met any of these people if not for COVID. So you probably would invite all your members, and you probably would have had a function or a meeting in a country or a location where only you all would have gathered. But today you are making it possible for so many others to participate at a very low cost, and sky is the limit. So that shows you the opportunity it's created, and also the where the future is going. So things will change. People will look at less transportation, maybe less using less office space, working from home, then putting your house in order, knowing that situations like this can happen. You have to expect situations like this and prepare for it by always keeping something in reserve to use it for a rainy day. And of course, work with a lot of trust, because when you do online businesses, you don't have that touch and feel effect on certain items. So you have to work on trust, and so that's why I said integrity is really important for anyone to be successful and continue whatever they are doing for the future. Okay.
Thank you very much, Aravinda. We are coming to the end of our session. Now I would like to invite our secretary from JCI Hosur Lake City, Saravanan, to do the vote of thanks.
Yeah, before that, Tariq, Aravinda, thank you so much for being here, and kindly accept this small token of love from us. We could not meet you in person to give, but the words you have shared, I'm sure that we will take it as kind of inspiring, and it will create a lot of impact back in our lives. And you had given every answers of yours like were very detailed, and it came from your heart. Thank you so much for your valuable presence and address. Kindly accept the small token of love from us. So with that being said, we invite J.C. Saravanan to propose the vote of thanks. Saravanan?
Thank you, Chairman. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible, Rajesh? It gives me
Yes,
an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on behalf of JCI Hosur Lake City and JCI Colombo. I would like to thank our cricket legend, cricket icon, Sri Lankan past national selector, 1992 World Cup Sri Lankan team captain, passionate personality. Rajesh, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now, please.
ராஜேஷ் பையன் ரொம்ப அழுகுறான், நீங்க பாத்துக்கிறீங்களா?
Thank you, Saravanan. No problem. Thank you. On behalf of Saravanan, I'll propose a vote of thanks. Thank you once again, Aravinda, for your time here. And this has marked an important event of JCI Colombo and JCI Hosur Lake City coming together. And thank you so much for your presence.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And with that being said, JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka and JCI Hosur Lake City and JCI Colombo together organizing this meeting with legendary cricketer Aravinda De Silva meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you all for your participation, and thank you so much. The meeting is adjourned now, and we are good to close.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you all.